This is awkward. But since I got more traction than I expected, welcome to my video. So the Torrid is a weapon that was added way back in the day, when clans were first introduced, and it was one of my favorites back in the day. It had alright damage, left a status cloud that stuck to enemies, did have very little end ammo reserves. Now, like most Incarnon Genesis weapons, it's a crit machine. Except, it has one thing over any other Incarnon. It charges with just body shots, and fully charges in 1 to 3 shots based on your multi-shot. The new Torid excels in almost every part of the game. It's kind of a jack of all trades, being able to handle enemies on the steel path with absolute ease. With near instant Incarnon charging, AoE damage spreading, and it's really easy to mod. Like, you don't need a lot to make this thing work. There's very little this weapon cannot do. If this weapon did struggle with anything, it's like most weapons, it's the heavily armored enemies. But, like, you can really just mod this thing for literally anything you want. Alright, so let's start with what evolutions I use. So, I don't really touch Final Fusillade, so I normally go with Plentiful Mayhem. It does eat up more ammo, but it does a lot more damage. Next, I went with Projectile Speed, because reloading from empty, first shot, ammo capacity, none of that matters. You just want to hit your target. Last but not least, you want more crit. Like, it's your choice between Survivor's Edge or what I use, which is Commodore's Fortune, just for that little bit more crit chance. Alright, so here I got set up 3 variations of the same build, varying from you just getting into Steel Path to late into Steel Path, and if you end up with a Ribbon. So most people probably won't go for that last option, but if you want to see the red crits, that's where you're going to find it. So the standard galvanized aptitude, galvanized chamber setup is pretty strong here. The weapon is capable of killing things and starting that chain reaction. Critical delay for that beefy crit chance, as well as I went with corrosion and cold here. So this is one of the first weapons I've ever built primarily to use a primary frostbite, because I want more crit multiplier and multi-shot. So it was a nice chance to experiment, and it worked out really well. And that's really all you need. You need just crit, you need to farm up some of those galvanized mods, but it's expected that you would be able to do some Steel Path if you've gotten the Incarnon adapter. Alright, so let's compare with no primed mods. You can see, nice to quick charge up. It's able to kill level 180 enemies, not much of an issue. And then, I mean, just look at that damage. You just zap all their health away. And this is without anything special. You can even do this without status mods if you want. Next up is with a single primed mod, primed cryo rounds. The damage is slightly higher. Like, it's not overly ambitious, you just need one primed mod. Yeah, you can see these enemies don't really stand much of a chance, even despite being heavily armored. And last but not least, my Ribbon. Now, what you really want to aim for is crit chance. Anything else is extra, right? And replaces something else that you already have. But just look at those red crits. Like, those things just disappear. It's really, really extra and it's not really necessary, but I have a feeling that some people just like seeing big numbers. Alright, so I booted up some footage from my run in Conjunction Survival, the Steel Path, level 200, roughly. And we have both ends of what I have, right? The no primed mod setup and my Riven setup. Mind you, yes, I can push the damage even more, but as you can probably see, it's largely unnecessary. Take a look at how fast it is to kill things without any primes whatsoever. I just like seeing the red numbers, so that's why I'm using my Riven most of the time. But for the most part, it's largely unnecessary. These things are heavily armored, and I'm cutting through them like butter. So, well, I used corrosion. I've tested out the standard viral heat, and that's still very, very good. I just wanted to try something else. So I went with corrosive and cold. Gives you some CC with a slow, very quick to stack it up, and allows you to use primary frostbite, which makes it so you don't need to use hammer shot to get that extra crit damage. So yeah, I've tried viral electric, viral heat, and a couple of other setups. So my Riven setup has the Hunter Munitions mod for those slash procs, and that's mostly so I don't have to make sure everything is dead. It's very unnecessary. It's like super extra. I could literally toss any mod I want in there. For instance, if you really itching to like pop a bunch of people, you can just shoot in Combustion Beam. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I wasn't expecting to receive as much support as I did from the short that I output. So, thank you everyone for liking that video. And if you enjoyed watching my video, feel free to like and subscribe and share as much as you can. This is one of my very first non-VOD based videos, so every little bit really, really counts. So once again, thank you for your support. And I'm going to leave the footage playing in the background, but otherwise, ta-ta for now.